So what a beautiful summer's evening. It seems that summer 2024 has at long last reached England.
Yes, and tonight we are at the beautiful village of Lower Bradfield in Sheffield.
And why are we at the beautiful village of Lower Bradfield in Sheffield?
We're here tonight for you, I believe, to do the Dam Flask Relays.
So the Dam Flask Road Relays also doubles as the South Yorkshire County Championships. It's a loop of about 3.6 miles. The men's team's the male 40, male 50, which I'm in. There are 4 legs, and for the women's team and the male 60s, there are 3 legs. It's an event I first did back in 2005. And if you pay close attention during this video, I'll probably mention several times how fast I ran back in 2005.
Well, what time did you run back in 2005, John?
I ran 19:07 on this course to finish 2nd overall on leg 1 and get a silver medal in the county championships.
Whee!
I don't think we'll be doing that tonight. Anything under 23 I'll be hugely pleased with. But we had a last minute dropout at our club in the male 50 team. Call went out yesterday and I thought, yeah, I really fancy pulling on the Penistone vest tonight and taking part in this lovely event which has hundreds of runners from South Yorkshire and beyond.
And I won't be running, I am just going to be spectating and recording John and his teammates in action.
It's quite a lumpy course this. I don't think at any point you're running exactly on the flat. You're either going up drags, coming down drags, or some steep Sheffield hills. So on the warm-up the legs are quite heavy, despite those 5 sharpening track races I did last Saturday. So check out that video of me doing 7 track and field events if you haven't done so already. I bet Dawn's secretly hoping somebody doesn't turn up from our club and she can get a run, aren't you?
No, thank you. We're going up the hill, but he has to come down.
So before we carry on, we'd really like you to give this video a like, and if you haven't subscribed, we'd love you to do so.
So if you want to measure the recent running boom, the last 10-15 years, back in 2005 there were 24 men's teams took part. Today I expect it to be near 100. And when Dawn did her time in 2006, there were just 10 female teams. Now again it'll be in the very high dozens. Well, I really enjoyed that 45 minutes. That was British summer 2024. I think it's going to rain quite heavily tonight. So normal service 2024 has been resumed. Wow, not seen rain like this since Saturday. So this was now 6:30 in the evening. My leg 1 was due to start at 7 o'clock, so reluctantly I had to leave the car and try and find our team manager to pick up my number and the relay baton I was going to have to pass on to the next runner. At this point I had my doubts whether the race would even go ahead, because as you can see the roads and surrounding areas are getting very flooded.
And now the sun's come out.
So baton in hand and number pinned to my vest, I was all ready to go at the appointed time of 7 o'clock for the race start.
Thank you. Well, the weather's great for the ducks.
So 7 o'clock, everybody's there on the start line ready to go. Unfortunately we were told that due to flooding on the road the start was going to be delayed by 10 minutes just to let it pass a bit. So a little bit more warm up and then everybody was good to go, and fantastic work from the organisers making sure we had a race to start at 7:10. So here we gather again, start line attempt number 2, and we're good to go, and the race is going to start shortly. Nervous anticipation, everybody wondering how they're going to do, how their team's going to do. It's great to see. So running is a very individual sport, but I found over the years that I have really enjoyed team events such as this. I do find I get a little bit extra out myself. In fact, when I ran that 19:07 back in 2005, that was probably one of the best performances ever of my running career, pound for pound. I ran out of my skin that night, and you can see lots of fellas here setting off on leg 1, all wanting to do the best, not only for themselves and their own personal pride, but also for all their club mates too. So do you enjoy team events as well as running individually? If you do, let me know in the comments below, and what sort of team events you particularly enjoy. So you can see the relay leg starts in the lovely village of Lower Bradfield. We swing a left and then we have a short climb up a hill. I tend not to try and push this at this point. It's very easy to get lactic in your legs early on. You can see Dawn down here on the left just filming all of the leg one runners coming through. So there we go. Rather than the 24 teams we had back in 2005, I think there were 75 men's teams taking part tonight. So not that little bit of a drag. You can see people leaning into it. And now we arrive on a top road where we have a couple of miles, nearly 2 miles of nice and flat. So at this point I start to think, what am I going to do? So it's a race. I'm going to try and beat as many of these people in front of me as I can. So first up here we have our men's 50B team runner Michael, just passing him on the left. Well done Michael for getting your vest on and putting in a good solid shift. Also on the left here in the orange vest, Barnsley Harriers, we have Neil. I used to play cricket with Neil many years ago in another lifetime. Very useful left arm over bowler and good solid dependable batsman. But he was the next one to pass. Again, it's lovely to see him running and getting so much out of the sport. So this part of the course is really quite flat and you can flow nicely. So it's time to get into a rhythm, look at the runners in front of us and try and pick off and do a consistent run as well as we can. So amazing to think 40 minutes ago we were at risk of flooding, and by now the only little bit we had here was this big puddle on the road, which some runners were advised to go and jump onto the pavement, but as it was receding you can see myself and the chap in front managed to stay on the road. So next up we have Oliver here on the left, running for one of the senior male teams. Well done him. Good to see so many of our runners and runners from other clubs putting on the vest and doing something slightly different, running in a team event. So still nice and flat here as we round onto the down wall. And what have we got here? We have a lady runner. Not just any lady runner, this is Lauren McNeil, who recently ran 71.26 I think at the European Athletics Championships. So yes, the ladies' race had been set off about a couple of minutes behind us, so there were going to be a handful of women overtakers. So Lauren McNeil actually would break the course record for females on this particular evening, so fantastically well done to her. So running across the dam wall now, the reservoirs on our left. Now, interesting story here, back in 1846 there was a previous dam wall here which actually broke and water flooded down into Sheffield, the Great Sheffield Flood, and caused the deaths of well over 200 people and destruction of 600 houses. So always something I remember when I'm running around here. So we now reach a big hill which goes on for about 3/4 of a mile. We can see people leaning into it. Normally when I've done this race in the past, including that year I ran in 1907, I was able to really pick people off a lot going up here, but the heavy legs meant I was towing as much as the next man here. People in front of me desperately trying to get near. It really is a grueling part of the course. If you've gone too fast in the first 2 miles thinking, well, hey, this is lovely, I can flow, then you're really going to pay for it here. So this coming up to a chap here in the green vest, that's Totley AC, and another one just in front of him in the blue vest, Dam Harriers. So I'm going to try and focus on not picking up seconds to myself, but just passing people here and grinding it out, heads down as we can see. Now it's quite a nasty hill because you think you've got to a summit and then there's another little kink before we can finally flow downhill, and I think this is 0.8 of a mile, the last bit of the course. Now, I'm not a strong downhill runner, so it's just a case of focusing on the fellas in front and not letting any time drop. We've got the second lady about to pass here. There she is, Naomi from Barnsley AC. She's been running absolutely fantastically this year.
So here comes the leader. He runs for Hallamshire Harriers. Here comes Gareth, running man in blue. Go on, well done. There goes the first lady.
So meanwhile, further back up the hill, here we are, still managing to hang on to the chap in the Dam Harriers vest as Naomi bounces off into the distance. And I'm thinking, I'm not doing badly here, given previous experiences of running downhill. Here's the third lady, another Hallamshire Harrier, very strong club in the area. I think they're going to win both the male and female events like they normally do. So it's a bit like a roller coaster coming down. You can see I did manage to get in front of the Dam Harriers chap at one point, but then a particularly steep downhill, my quads aren't up for it, my hamstrings starting to tighten.
Come on, John. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Sean, great.
I think sometimes great is an overused adjective, as in this case, but a fine effort for myself and all the runners on leg 1. As you can see, I'm really trying hard to get hold of this Dagenham Harrier, but he's just agonisingly a few paces out of sight, so well done him. We're just rounding into the finish in a couple of 100 yards, and actually my baton, I've got to find my clubmate here, Matt. Well done, Matt. Then I had to run on and find a second Matt, in this case the finish Matt, and I recorded a time of 23 minutes and 57 seconds, a little bit slower than I'd be hoping for, but these events aren't about me time, they're about the team. We then enjoyed watching our clubmates, other local running friends, Joe there, other people, putting it all in for their teams. Coach's feedback, she was quite surprised to see how strong I look. So yeah, 23.59 for my leg. I had thought I'd go low 23s, but well, legs were a little bit heavy after all those races on Saturday, but I thought I executed it really well, as I said on the commentary. Passed people all the way, just that guy came past me on the downhill, hamstring tightened up a little bit on the final down, but you know, really pleased with the way I executed all of the course, a tricky course as you've seen. So it was a great night out at the Dam Flask Road Relays, whether you're running 19:07 or 23:57. So we stayed on to watch friends from our own club, other clubs around the area. It's really great to see everybody putting in maximum effort, not just for their own personal pride. Suzanne there, our running partner, yeah, not just for their own personal pride, but for the good of the club. Maximum effort all around. It's fantastic to see. So I was running in a male 50 team. We're waiting to see how well we all did as a team. Fairly competitive, all 4 of us in the team have got some very good running pedigree to our name over the years. Here's some more of our Penistone clubmates coming in, fantastically well done everybody. So here we have our leg 2 runner, Matt, fantastic runner, 22.19, handing on to Tony, ran a fantastic 21.58, and then on leg 4, Robin, 25.12, meaning we ended up as the 3rd male 50 team on the evening and the 34th team in all. So well done to all of us, and well done to everyone taking part in the Dam Flask Road Relays 2024. And a special thank you to the organisers at Sheffield Running Club who put on this event despite the horrendous conditions. I think it was commonly stated this was the worst conditions we'd ever seen at this particular event. So we hope you've enjoyed this video taking you around the Dam Flask Road Relays 2024. If you have, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see plenty of other races we've got coming up over the summer, both individual and team, then please click that subscribe button. So until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.